Today, we are focusing on the impact of digital solutions on small businesses.
But we need to understand that digital transformation is not equal to using a digital system.
Every challenge is a stepping stone towards greater success.
We are in an era of super efficiency. We are in an era that AI is taking over. We are in an era that robots are coming, right?
Keep your eyes on the horizon and be prepared to leverage emerging technologies that can transform your business landscape.
I want to tell that before starting to use a computer system, you should have a system for your business.
Welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. This is your host, SK, and we are thrilled to be back with another enlightening episode. Today, we are focusing on the impact of digital solutions on small businesses and why it's critical for local enterprises to adopt these technologies. Let's dive deep into the dynamics of entrepreneurship and the transformative power of technology in business operations. Today, we have the privilege of welcoming Amir Harandi, the CEO and founder of Artintech Inc. Join us as we dive into his experiences, explore insights that are as inspiring as they are instructive. Good morning, Amir. Welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. How are you doing today?
All good, thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Are you enjoying the weather?
Well, it's difficult to say. It's so ups and downs, but yeah, overall, finally we're getting good.
Yesterday it was cold, right?
Yeah.
No one expected that. I'm excited to dive into a conversation and learn more about your path to becoming a leader in digital transformation. Now, let's start discussing about your journey. Amir, you have established yourself as a formidable force in the tech industry. Can you start by telling us about your early experiences founding your first company and how that shaped your path towards Artintech?
Well, it's a long journey, and it kind of started when I was in high school.
Okay.
Back then, well, we had like computer classes and stuff like that, and we were trying to learn. And I soon figured out the best way for me to learn anything about computers and programming. Back then it was like Pascal programming. I don't know if anybody's using it anymore, but I started learning by defining a project for myself. So I was in high school. I made a game.
Okay.
But of course, not so advanced game, but it was a basic game, and that was the beginning of my interest shaping around.
Which year was it?
It was like 1998.
Oh, that's
maybe 97, 98. Yeah, long time ago. I'm giving up my age now. But then when I got I got to university, a good university actually, Swan University of Technology, and I did my engineering there, right, engineering course. And right when I was about to finish my engineering bachelor's degree, I started a group, not a real company, a group of like IT projects with a couple of my friends. And we got some projects, we did it together. And then later I joined other group of my friends who have already started a company. We kind of like mixed the two groups and gave it a new name. And that was my first company right after I graduated from my bachelor's degree. So the thing was, I was always fascinated by how things can get better using the right technology, right? And then later, when I got more involved in different parts of my journey led me to believe that was a right intuition that I had in the beginning.
Okay. And I mean, what were some of the initial challenges you faced when establishing the Artintech, and how did you overcome them?
Well, establishing Artintech was a little bit different from the first company that I started, because back then it was close to home. All kind of support was available. The network was there. But here I was starting Artintech with very limited funds, and I had to be able to manage my personal bills too. And And the thing is, um, the first sales was difficult, right?
Yes,
So
it's very difficult.
people, yeah, gain the trust of the first customer, and the network that leads you to the first customer, and then building a team around it, right? So because the first customer wouldn't give you enough money to, and we didn't have investors behind us when we started, so it was challenging. But well, maybe I was lucky. Maybe I had good friends around me, um, and we managed to deliver. And well, I think when you have the right approach and you have the long-term vision,
Right.
the whole thing is like a big puzzle, and you can put the pieces one by one. The trick is not to get distracted and focus on the long term. And along the way, good people will join you, and then you'll build up the team that you need.
Right. That's a powerful start, showing how resilience and foresight can pave the way for success. I mean, can you share your key piece of advice for young generation who are planning or thinking of starting their own business?
Well, a couple of things, because I deal with young enthusiasts who want to start a business. Some of them say, okay, why do you want to start your own business? I say, because we don't want to have a boss above our head, and we want to have flexible time. Well, I have a bad news for that group of people, because, well, when you're an employee, you have only one uh, manager, right? But when you own your own business, every single customer is asking for reports, asking for progress. So you have many bosses, and forget about flexible time. you're trading like 8 hours, or I know, 9 hours a day to 14 hours a day, and no holidays.
Right.
And well, both you, and if you have a partner, your partner should have this understanding.
Right.
This is not easy.
Right.
So, but if you have a passion for something that you think you can work on that passion day and night for the rest of your life, and you can see that enjoying it, even if it's not for money, then don't think too much. Start the business. Especially here in Canada, you know what? It's easy to register a company in Canada compared to some other countries, right? And we are in a specific situation where it's easy to access international markets. It's easy to access national markets, right? So if you have a burning passion for something, go ahead for it. Don't think too much. Take calculated risks, but don't calculate too much again, right? Because it's a highly uncertain journey you're taking. You cannot calculate everything. So the best way to go is to have the long-term vision. Go ahead and discover every step at a time, right? So it's not something that you can sit down, write a nice business plan. I don't believe even you can write a business plan for a startup company, right? So be brave, but be prepared for at least 4 or 5 years of real hard work before the whole thing is established.
As you rightly said, if you are passionate, the journey will be you can enjoy the journey, right? Whether you are just starting out or stepping to the high seas of business transformation, remember, every challenge is a stepping stone towards greater success. Like Amir's journey from a startup in Iran to leading a pioneering tech company in Canada. Let your passion and vision guide you through the complexities to new opportunities. Now let's transit to entrepreneurship challenges. Like transition now to the broader challenges in entrepreneurship, like especially within the tech sector. From your experience, like what are the most significant hurdles today's entrepreneurs face, and how can they navigate?
Many entrepreneurs are stronger in one aspect of the business, right? Some are good engineers, right? Some are good salespeople. Some are good managers. But the thing is, as an entrepreneur, especially in the early stages, you have to be able to handle everything.
You have to wear a lot of different hats, right?
Exactly, right? And then from janitor's hat to CEO's hat to
Right.
salesperson hat. And I know it's difficult for some, let's say, engineers to handle sales, right? Or for some people who are good at sales to deal with technical stuff that they have to, but you have to be ready for that, right?
Right.
That's a big challenge. One of the things that some entrepreneurs have difficulties in implementing is delegation, trust, right? Because they want everything to be perfect. It will be difficult for them to trust their team members to take over a part of the work and be a help. That could be a big mistake because you have to be able to allow people to make mistakes. You have to be able to allow people to learn by doing things, right? I don't mean like closing your eyes and letting everybody do whatever they want. As an entrepreneur, you are the one who have the vision, has to make sure everybody is walking towards the right destination, towards the right direction.
Everything is aligned,
But then allow people to help, right? Trust them. Give them shares in your company if you must, right? Allow them to be a part of the solution.
And how do you how do you motivate your employees? Like how other small business owners can motivate their employees?
Well, there's no formula to apply to everybody, right? So you need to know where people are. To some people, money is a motivation. So just give their salaries that they'll be able to handle their work. But to many people, money is not everything.
Right.
The right motivation comes from knowing what is important for every person, right? I always say, being a good entrepreneur, being a good manager, not just an entrepreneur, being a good manager is like being a good mother. When you know that mothers, when you're a kid,
Right.
they will end up telling you the right direction, right? But and then sometimes they're tougher, sometimes, but you know that they love you, right? Show your staff, show your employees, show your partners, show your team. I don't look at it as a hierarchy. You're all together, working together, moving a big brand ahead. Show them that you will do whatever it takes to support them, to help them, and they will help you no matter what it takes. If they think that you're thinking about your own future and you don't care about them, there's no reason for them to care about you, right?
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on this, Amir, on turning challenges into stepping stones for growth. Now, discussing about the digital transformation process, as everyone knows, digital transformation is crucial in today's business landscape. I mean, could you elaborate on the process of integrating digital solutions at Artintech?
Artintech solutions are more focused on industrial environments, industrial units, like manufacturing companies, supply chain companies, industrial services, right? Like maintenance and uh, we are not that much into like retail or office environments, but we are more into like digital solutions for SMEs in industrial sectors. And in North America, and I suspect it's more or less the same all around the world, 93% of the companies in the industrial sector are less than 100 employees, right? So we are dealing with a large number of smaller companies. And when you are the manager of a small company, you have many concerns that maybe larger companies don't. Even small costs would be a big deal for you. Having the right staff in place would be a deal for you. Every single mistake can make a big impact on your business, and it will be difficult for you to handle it. So moving a traditional paper-based business process into a digital environment could be challenging for small businesses because of many concerns that they would have. And at the moment we say ERP, right? Enterprise resource planning. So they think about heavy costs and long processes.
That's the perception, right?
That's a perception, right? And that's partially true because traditionally it was the case.
Right.
Traditionally, we are talking about big brothers in the industry like SAP, Oracle, even Microsoft's products. So those have traditionally been expensive to acquire, lengthy process of implementation, the investment you have to make to train your staff, right? And then even maintenance costs after you implement them, the maintenance costs. So Artintech is one of the companies that is using the newer wave of technology, using SaaS technologies to heavily reduce the cost of owning IT systems and implementing IT systems. So we are making solutions that are easy and quick to implement. It can literally take a couple of days before you have a nice IT system in place. And because now we are living in a world that everybody has access to internet, we can use cloud solutions, which will heavily reduce the cost of maintenance of IT systems for companies. So we are not dealing with a multi-million-dollar investment to have an ERP anymore, and we are tailoring the solutions to small, medium-sized companies, let's say like less than 150 employees, where they can quickly start using IT systems and they don't have to invest huge amount of money in training their staff, and they can afford to handle it even in long term.
Right. Following on that, like what strategies do you implement to ensure successful digital adoption among your clients?
We always talk about digital transformation, right? So that's the concept that we are trying to advocate. But we need to understand that digital transformation is not equal to using a digital system. Digital systems are just a small part of a bigger journey. And the whole thing starts with the top management's belief in the benefits of the digital systems. And then the processes should be in place before you bring the systems. So let's say, just imagine a company that has like different products, but they don't have a proper numbering system for their products. Okay. So believe it or not, we have dealt with companies that they don't even have a right SKUs in place, right? So before having a computer system to manage those products, you should have a proper numbering system for the products, right? Or a numbering system for your shelves. So this is just like silly small examples, but I want to tell that before starting to use a computer system, you should have a system for your business, right? So that's the first part.
That's very important.
That's a platform. You're putting the computer systems on top of that, right? Digital systems on top of that. And then after the digital systems are in place, your journey is still ongoing. So don't think that, okay, we have subscribed, we have trained our staff, we have put our information on the system and it's done. No, there's a change management process after that should be supported by the top management, right? So it's not a one day. Yes, our systems can be in place in 2 days, right? But if there's no support from top management, people will go back to their old ways. Right. People will go back to their Excel sheets and paper forms, and then what the result would be that the manager who has invested in the digital systems wouldn't see the ROI.
Right. There will be no results that we are expecting, right? Yeah. And can you share a success story of one of your clients where a transformation project that had a significant effect?
Well, it's not a specific client, but usually what we see is that when our clients start to use digital systems, there are a couple of significant changes in their both management level and benefits for management level and operations level. On the management level, they see a higher level of clarity on what's happening in their business. So I was talking to one of our clients who was saying that if we didn't have your system, we had to depend on our supervisors to give us scattered reports to be able to know what's going on the production line. And that was a manager of one of the companies. But then on the operation level, you significantly reduce the time that you need to put necessary data together and reduce human errors. Because when we are dealing with paper forms, you're dealing with somebody putting information in and somebody taking it from that form and putting it somewhere else. So that creates opportunities for human error. And that sometimes 1-0 can change a lot, right? Besides, sometimes you're dealing with external entities, like auditors, for example, right? You have external auditors from certifying parties, from government, from sometimes from your vendors or customers. And when you talk about audit, it's a scary term for people who are working in manufacturing because they know that they have to leave whatever they're doing for a couple of
Not
weeks
only
at least.
manufacturing, in every
everywhere,
industry,
right?
yeah.
And then they have to make sure that all of the papers are in place, and God bless you if a couple of papers are missing. But with a proper system, you don't even have to stop your work even one day because everything is already where they have to be. And a couple of clicks, you can show the auditor whatever happens. And that auditor is external party. Think about internal management audits, for example, right? Managers want to know what's going on, and they don't have to wait for Excel files to be compiled to bring it to you. Besides, when you're dealing with manual processes, you're wasting hours. Every hour of, let's say, 50 employees is a salary that you're paying them, right? And then that means you're losing efficiency. Now, we are not in a traditional work environment anymore. We are in an era of super efficiency. We are in an era that AI is taking over. We are in an era that robots are coming, right? So even if you're a small business, you cannot afford to lose even 1 minute of the productivity. And I don't know if you can still compete with modern SMEs if you're still working in traditional way and still compete with them efficiently.
Right. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the digital transformation side. And it's clear that strategic digital integration can redefine business operations. Thank you for tuning into the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. We are going to take a quick break. Stay with us and we will be right back with more insights and stories from the heart of small businesses.
You dreamt big. You made the leap. You and your "we're not stopping at small" business. Doesn't matter you've never done it before. You unlock those problems. You adapt to change. You learn to evolve. You're pioneers in challenging times, finding your own frontiers. Wherever you e-commerce, UPS is with you. So nothing is going to hold you back.
Nope.
Constant Contact delivers the marketing tools your small business needs to keep up, excel, and grow. Constant Contact, helping the small stand tall.
Welcome back to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. Let's continue our journey into the inspiring world of small businesses, full of innovation and passion. Now let's discuss about the future of technology. Looking ahead, the future of technology holds exciting prospects. What emerging technologies do you believe will have the most significant impact on small businesses in the next decade?
2018, I was talking to a group of attendees in Ryerson Universities. They changed the name to Metropolitan University now. So back then I told them that, hey, AI is coming and it will come sooner than everybody tells. And it happened.
Yeah.
2023 was the year that AI took over many industries, right? And this was a pivotal moment because 20 years ago, when I was in engineering course, 20-something years ago, even back then, we were working on AI systems, right? But the thing is, back then, we didn't have enough information. We didn't have fast computers. We didn't have the network of data transmission. So back then, it was very slow. And apart from very, very specific projects, it was a failure. So for like 15 years, nobody did invest significantly in the AI era. But now we have everything needed for significantly using AI, and you see what's happening now. Right now, there are at least like 5 different AIs competing with each other to prove that we are better, right? So, but similar to then, now we are very close to having all we need for 2-3 new waves of technologies. In the medical science, we are dealing with gene editing. That means cure of disease. That means longer life. Right? So be prepared to live longer, healthier. And then, so what does it mean? It means you're spending longer years in retirement, right? So to the politicians, this is something that they have to deal with because the current economic system wouldn't be able to handle that. It will collapse. We have seen things in France. Retirement policies are making buzz over there, and here in Canada, we are dealing with similar issues all around the world. But then there are 2 other technologies that are more like engineering. One is quantum computers and other technologies similar to that are offering super fast computing, right? That means that the tech capabilities will exponentially increase, right? And then we are dealing with humanoid robots. I believe in the next few years, we are going to see a lot of humanoid robots working in factories, right? Now, when it comes to humanoid robots, there's another thing on top of the current AI, the large language models that are being built up, that is agents, AI agents. So AI agents can again revolutionize the way that we are looking at computers. Now, why these 2 are important, the last 2 are important, because we are transitioning from a human-based operation. You see factors of production, land, labor, capital, right? Labor is not going to be significant anymore. So, but if we are losing human as labor, we need to have systems in place, right? And many companies are still in the traditional ways of paper and manual works, and they don't have a proper system in place. When we are dealing with technology handling business, technology needs a systematized business process in place. So we have to be careful. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to benefit from the new waves of technology. That means we will simply lose the competition.
I mean, I believe your forward-thinking approach is indeed preparing your clients and Artintech for a dynamic future. As we discuss the future of technology with experts like Amir, it's clear that staying ahead requires not just adopting new technologies, but also continuously learning and adapting. Keep your eyes on the horizon and be prepared to leverage emerging technologies that can transform your business landscape. Now, finally, let's talk about Artintech's role in the broader ecosystem of small to medium-sized enterprises. How does Artintech ERP specifically cater to the unique needs of SMEs?
Transitioning from a traditional work environment to a fast-paced work environment, right? So they need to have systems in place, and we help them to have those systems in place. But the thing is, we are making it easy for them to do so, right? You want to have your warehouse management done. You want to have your quality management done. You want to have your maintenance done. You want to have your workplace safety to be properly done. You don't need the super complexities of traditional ERPs. You don't need complex capabilities that are catered to huge manufacturing plants, right? So you need basic things that can properly cover your company's basic needs, but at the same time, you don't have to invest in a super complex system that can handle like huge operations. You don't need that. So why should you pay for that? Right? So this is what we're doing. We're creating possibility of benefiting from digital transformation without spending huge amount of money. It's not just money, the time for implementation, the training investment, right? And the maintenance cost, right? These are the things that we are trying to fix for small, medium size. So a big part of our design process is spent on making sure our systems are easy to use without losing functionalities. But then when I say functionalities, I'm talking about the functionalities that are crucial for small, medium-sized companies. So there are some systems that are traditionally built for large enterprise, and they're trying to feed it to smaller sized businesses. Those are failure. Why? Because the mindset behind designing those companies were not, we are making it for small, medium-sized, but they're trying to tailor it for small, medium-sized companies. We have started by having that mindset in place. And the people who are behind Artintech ERP, there are people who are coming from the same industries, right? We are not a bunch of engineers sitting and imagining what's happening in the industry. We know what's happening in the industry
subject matter
because
experts.
we have years of experience working as industry experts, as industry consultants, right? So we are coming from industry with technology knowledge, and we're designing a system that works for SMEs.
And like, how can anyone of our listeners or SMEs who are into this field where they want to update or transit digitally can get connected with your organization?
Yeah, sure. So Artintech has, if I remember correctly, around like 75 partners, partner companies in 25 countries.
Okay.
So depending on where they are, they can connect to our partners, and the list of our partners is available on our website.
Okay.
So they can find a partner, and they can ask about the benefits that Artintech ERP can bring to they're all certified, trained partners.
Okay.
And if they're near us in Toronto, if they contact us, Artintech ERP website, artintech.ca, and or emailing us or getting connected to us anyways, we can guide them towards the pathway of this transition, either directly or with the help of our gold partners.
Thank you so much for sharing those information.
Sure.
As we wrap up, Amir, what final piece of advice would you offer to our listeners, who are navigating the complexities of entrepreneurship and technology integration?
Well, I would say if you are an entrepreneur and you're in love with technology, and you believe in the capacity that technology can bring to human life, because it's not just about making money. Money will come later, right? As an entrepreneur, you have to think about your own passion, about your own beliefs, and focus on problems rather than the solutions. Because you might have a knowledge about a certain technology, AI, whatever it is, right? And then you're trying to feed this to a certain issue or certain usage. But no, think about it the other way around. Think about what problems people are dealing with right now. What are the things that we can we can significantly improve the human life, and then what technologies we can use to. So if you think about it like that, you will have a passion for that problem to be solved, and then there are tons of technologies that you can use to solve it. And then besides it, perseverance.
Right. That's very important.
That is like, I would say 90% having the vision and then being strong enough to go through all the hardships towards that, and then don't lose your big picture, but be patient, because people will not necessarily encourage you to be an entrepreneur. When I wanted to start my own company, people said, no, don't start. Don't go first work in this company, that company, earn some
Experience.
Well, I had experience, but even the first company that I started, I didn't have that much industry experience the first time, right? So later, yeah, I earned lots of experience working in different, but even the first one, you see, you learn a lot more than what you think as you're doing the work, right? And as an entrepreneur, you have to be brave, and you have to be passionate.
That's very important.
Yeah, if you have those two, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Amir, for sharing your advice, and also for sharing invaluable insights with us today. It was a pleasure hosting you.
It was a pleasure being here with you. Thank you very much.
To our listeners, we hope this conversation sheds light on the crucial role of digital transformation in enhancing business efficacy. A heartfelt thanks to our partners: exclusive banking partner RBC, exclusive shipping partner UPS, exclusive accounting software partner Xero, and our exclusive email partner Constant Contact for their unwavering support. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the Canadian SME Small Business Magazine by visiting our official website at CanadianSME.ca. Until next time, keep pushing the boundaries and embracing innovation in your businesses.